So can you tell us your name and your relationship to the club, just a potted history, really?
Well, what I found out a week or so ago, we had questions and answer with Martin in the supporters club, and he said, "Your name's William Henry Isaac." He said, "Why do they call you Peter?" I'm not Peter really, but they call me Peter, and I've always been called Peter, you know. But my name is William, so that's the start of my name, obviously, yes. And I joined Hereford in 1960. I played for Northampton Town, and I came here. Joe Wade signed me on, and best thing I ever did, by the way. Super it was. A family-run club. When I signed at the Farmers Club in Hereford, and he said, "It's farming and football, Peter, here." So I loved it. Honestly, when I come here, they looked after you. Jack Clark, the old trainer, you got your lines for your washing, your line posts and everything, because he worked at the gasworks. He'd come back on his bike and fit stuff up. That's how it was, a family-run club. Directors cleaning windows, so forth. And enjoyed my seven years playing here. And then I left for a couple of seasons. Went to Kidderminster for one and Worcester for the one. Then I came back with John Charles as his trainer. Just John and I then worked with him, which was a big thing. Obviously, John, great player and what have you. And I kept it going then. As on my side as a trainer, I tried to do the same things how I was looked after. So I tried to keep the family thing with the players and with everybody, you know. Supporters were wonderful. I got away with murder playing. You know, there's always somebody else's fault, but I always give 100%, which was something, you know.
So give me a bit of a taste of the day of 1972, the anticipation, you know, from your point of view.
My point of view, yeah. Well, leading up to it, after we got a great result up at Newcastle, you know, so we were coming back here now, and of course we got back everything with the enthusiasm, the cues as you see on some of the photographs, you know, everybody was buzzing really looking forward to it. Because it's always been a giant killer club, you know. Way back when they used to play, they beat QPR, they played Sheffield Wednesdays. They've always been good in the cup. So the atmosphere was great, wonderful atmosphere. So my job then was to make sure with the training, some of the training, I used to always look after the goalkeepers. Fred Pott was brilliant to work with, you know. So yeah, my job was just to look after the players and make sure with the treatments, I used to do the treatments, make sure the kit was right for them. And we used to use Crednil, the camp. It's the army camp now, the SAS camp now. But before that, it used to be the Air Force used to be there, catering thing, and we used to use their facilities, which was wonderful. And so we trained Tuesdays and Thursdays. But when we were in the cup, we trained on the extra day, which extra night actually was on the Wednesday. So we used a lot of it because the weather wasn't very good. We used the facilities up at Crednil. So generally made sure everything was right this end. And of course, the problem with the pitch, they came down. They were stopping at Worcester, I believe, and used to come over, Joe Harvey, and wonderful people of mine. They were lovely, honestly. And they come over, and of course, the game was put off, and I'd help the groundsman, the groundsman that helped me. We all mucked in, you know, it was lovely. And rolling the pitch, we had tarpaulins down. He put the mower on the tarpaulins, pushing the mud everywhere, you know, it was great. And made sure everything was right in here. We had the press to look after, and the media came down. There was quite a lot of people, bodies everywhere, you know, very interested, obviously, with the game. And we looked after them as well. So after we worked and did what we had to, we have a few beers with them in the VP club, you know, things like that.
One of them, Derek Evans.
Oh, Derek, yeah, he was a character, Derek. Well, he lived off of Bodnam Road there, you know, not far from where I live, and he had a studio across in Edgar Street there. Knew Derek, and of course, pre-seasons, and I've been here a while now, so pre-season Derek would always come in to take photographs of new players, team photographs and so forth, you know. And the manager I signed for, Joe Wade, they were big pals anyway. And I think he was in the Lions, you know, a lot of contacts. Did spend a lot of time in Wales as well. He did a lot of work in Wales, and I think in the Midlands. But he played golf with him a couple of times, you know. He was a member of Wormsley, and I think he had a membership down in Swansea somewhere, you know. He was a lovely guy, actually, Derek. Very nice. Anyway, so the game starts, very enthusiastic, everything with buzzing and everything like that. And the goal that Malcolm McDonald scored, I mean, it was a brilliant goal, actually, a cracking header. Then, of course, he thought that was it. And we thought it was it. We thought, oh dear, here we go, you know. How many is going to be, maybe, you know. shouting, encouraging from the line, shouting on, you know, pick up and push out and all that kind of thing, you know. But I don't think they could hear you because of the noise. It was buzzing, really, you know. It was super.
And then what happened when?
Well, what happened, of course, then we kept playing away there. And we matched them, actually. I've got to be honest. Everybody. I've got to be honest. I must say something about Fred Potter. Because all the games we played in the FA Cup, he had tremendous games in the FA Cup. Every game he played, solid, as everybody did. But he in particular, and being an ex-goalkeeper, I got a lot. I worked with Fred as well. He's a lovely guy, and he played very well in that game as well. Colin, individually, there was one or two exceptional performances, you know. So we could go from Malcolm McDonald's goal, brilliant goal, you know. He took it really well up there, and of course they came away. They were full of it then. It got a little bit quiet, obviously, for a little while until we picked it up again. But we competed. Honestly, we played really well. They say about the conditions, you know. I mean, the conditions, they were bad. But they didn't say anything about the conditions when we drew with them up at Newcastle, because the pitch was lovely up there, and we got a result up there. And I've got to say something about Brian Owen's goal at Newcastle, mate. That was some goal. If people didn't see it, they ought to. It was brilliant. And then Colin scored the equaliser. Super. But going on from there, then, of course, we kept playing. It was a hard game, end to end, super. And then Ron got his goal, which is fantastic, wasn't it? Couldn't believe it, really. I mean, you've got to second take or sort of thing, you know, you've got to look at it again. But it was a wonderful, wonderful feeling, because everybody went crazy. Kids come on the park. Well, again, wherever you hear, it was packed, you know, people are coming from everywhere. That was good. And then sub went on, of course, Roger. Oh, beg your pardon, I forgot about Roger, his leg. Run on to Roger. I'm all right. It's a bit sore and all that. You've got to come off then, Roger. He said, no, I'm not coming off. I'm not coming off, you know. So anyway, we find out he had to come off because obviously he broke his leg or something, you know. I would say it was a bad break, but it was a fracture probably. And so then, of course, Ricky came on, and we kept playing away, and we kept pushing, actually. We had a few chances. I think it was hit the bar, one thing, I think we hit the bar there. And then Ricky got the winner. And he went across the keeper. I got to be honest, I thought he might have done better. But he didn't, thank goodness. It was a wonderful feeling, and everybody went crazy. And afterwards, it was, well, you had to be there to believe it, really. And it's a long time ago now, but never be forgotten. Great bunch of lads, very successful lads. Family, because when somebody got kicked, we all limped. It was that close we were. It was super.
And when everyone was coming off, what was that like? You must have had people descending on you.
We couldn't, honestly, you couldn't move. It was just like a cloud, really. It's hard to explain, really, because it was bodies everywhere, you know. They were coming from you at all angles. Oh, really good. So we obviously made sure the players got off the park, and then we went in the dressing rooms, and well, it was, the press was in. Of course, they had the cameras already in there, you see. They set it all up before the game, so that when the game was off, win, lose or draw, they'd be in there and on they go, you know. So we had all that, and then, well, you couldn't hear anything. It was pandemonium, really, I suppose you could say.
Is that what were they all doing in the changing room?
Oh, again, and jumping and kicking, and, you know, and the cameras asking questions, a few bottles going, you know, champagne and different things, you know. But it was just a buzz, you know. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, after the match, of course, we all came back into the dressing room. Eventually, I mean, it was dribs and drabs because the punters wouldn't let him come off the park, which is understandable. You couldn't get through them, you know, it was packed. So anyway, they come in the dressing rooms and it was just everything, you know, yeah, all the business, cheering and hugging each other. And, well, and of course the press was in there, so, and of course the television cameras, Motsons and different people were in there, and questions and answers and sort of thing. But it was so noisy, it was unbelievable. And then the directors come in, and other people, officials, you know, would come in and just congratulate and what have you. Then the champagne would be flowing, so we have a few drinks and a few photographs, and just the buzz is fantastic, really, the feeling of it all.
So tell us about that photograph where you told me about where the the policeman?
Oh,
or
yeah,
was taking
yeah,
the bill? Tell us
yeah.
about, you say you got in trouble.
Yeah, of course it quieted down just a little bit after that. And of course, with Roy Short, he was a bit of a character, police officer, and he was on duty, by the way. And he always used to be in the front entrance, looking after everybody. And we know him, Roy. Everybody knew Roy Short. So anyway, he came in after the game, and of course Ricky and Ron were having their boots. He took their boots off. He was on duty, but taking their boots off, and apparently his officer was Mr. Keat, Superintendent Keat. And he gave him a right rollicking, actually, because he shouldn't have been in the dressing room, because he's supposed to be outside on duty, you know. But anyway, but that's the type of character he was, and everybody knew him in the dressing rooms, the players. And he'd do anything for you anyway, Roy, you know. And he's always here. Yeah. Oh, PC Roy Short, yeah, on duty outside there, always here actually. Any little job, sometimes he'd come down and do a little bit, you know, might sweep the dressing room out or something like that. But he liked to drink. He liked to drink, which we all did anyway. But anyway, at the end of the game, he came in the dressing room, you see. He quieted down a little bit. He didn't come straight away in. He came in later on, a little bit later, when it was quieter. And of course, Ricky and Ron were having their photographs taken and different things. And of course, he came and he started taking their boots off. The muddy boots, they were covered in mud. And he started taking them off anyway. And of course, the shot went in. They took a photograph of him, and of course, it was in the press. And his inspector then was John Keat, and he gave him a right roasting about that, you know, because he shouldn't have been in the dressing room for a start. He's supposed to be outside, but he was in there doing that. And of course, being on duty as well, so he had a bit of a reprimand, you know, he gave him a bit of a knock. But it wasn't serious, because Mr. Keat, he was lovely anyway. All the police and everybody, they were fantastic. They would help you out. And they were all supporters. Everybody's a supporter. Football and farming in Hereford. Wonderful. Well, it was fantastic actually, because it helped us to get back into the league. Not back into the league, get into the league, because we tried for years to get in the league. And of course it was voting system then. And of course it was still voting system, but with that, the help of that got us into the league as far as I'm concerned, you know. And the legacy of it is, well, we always speak about it. Television, FA Cup, always got the goals on. Hereford's wonderful. It put us on the map a bit. Although it's always been a good club. I remember signing I said to my mother, I lost my dad, and I said, it's one of the best non-league clubs going. Dad would be very pleased with me coming here, because I had played against him anyway when I was with Barrytown. It was always a good family club. You know, I can't express that more. Everybody did everything for everybody, you know. It was a pleasure to be here. The supporters were lovely.
And what about now?
Now? The pleasing, let's go about now. The thing being, we lost it a few years ago, didn't we, when it went down. I was so sad then when that happened, after all the years we'd been, you know, heading for down, out of the league, out of this and out of that. Finished. I thought, oh, never. Anyway, so of course you got some lovely people coming back in here, got it going again. Support's been fantastic, getting back where they are now. It's lovely to see them. They've had these promotions, they keep going, obviously. The gates have been good, the supporters have kept with them. And without their support, well, they wouldn't be going now, I don't think. But the people that took it on have been fantastic. And the benefactors, of course, put money in to help them on. And, well, we wouldn't be where, honestly, it's fantastic to see them up and going again. We've had a few dips this last few weeks. Hopefully they'll get through that with the new management and what have you. We look forward to that. Hopefully that they'll pull it together again now. But they mustn't try and run before they can walk, really. To finish halfway up in this league, it's getting harder all the time now. They've had really leagues now they got on and got promotion three years, I believe. So therefore now it's levelling out a little bit. So they've got to be patient. I hope that they'll stick with them, which I'm sure they will, and look forward to the future.